La, la, la. La, la, la.
Hola, ¿cómo están, you beautiful souls? It's Tori, the Hope Dealer of Guided Intuition, and I'm here to do your soul guidance. This is what your soul, your intuition, the divine, honey, everything that is sacred wants you to know in this time frame. With that being said, I want to share something with you, and I'm super excited to be the person to actually share this message with the beautiful soul who is watching this. I know you guys have seen this painting somewhere. Okay, it's everywhere. It's called the Starry Night. This is one of my favorite paintings, and I was just so attracted to this painting. I've always been attracted to this painting. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I bought like when I seen the little purse, I was like, oh, I gotta get this. But I've always been attracted to this painting because it just captivates me. It's so much beauty. And this painting is literally known around the world. It's on t-shirts, it's on cups, mugs, purses, little change pouches, paintings, posters. They even have rings that are like embodying the Starry Night that you can buy. This painting is just everywhere. And there's a story behind this painting. So the story behind this Starry Night is truly one that is incredible, and it's very inspiring. It is furthermore proof that out of our darkest moments, beauty can and will be birthed. It's all about your perception. So the Starry Night was one of Van Gogh's, that's what I call him, guys, most famous pieces, and it was one of his most darkest moments in his life. In my opinion, he was battling depression, loneliness, mental health issues, basically confronting his shadow. He was having a dark night of the soul. He actually painted this painting confined in a small room, basically on lockdown, like a mental institution. That's how most describe the settings he was in when he painted this masterpiece. Me personally, what I channeled when I tapped into this energy was Van Gogh was not honoring his truest path to his pursuit of happiness. I can imagine him being a sought after painter. I can only imagine what that was like for him. It was a mental prison, and I feel and truly believe that art was his form of expression. This particular painting, the Starry Night, was one of his most famous paintings, but in his opinion was one of his worst. And this is more tapping into his mental space, where he was when he drew forth the inspiration in painting this painting. It was a very dark and lonely place. This was one of Van Gogh's most famous pieces, and it was one of his most darkest times, in my opinion. But out of those darkest moments, beauty was birthed. No, it wasn't fun. In all actuality, we have all been places and in situations that made us better and made us an incredible person, or the person that we are today. But if we had to do it a second time, we probably wouldn't choose that route. But this is all a part of the pursuit to happiness. And this is why I'm an advocate for self-love and honoring your authenticity, because a year later, Van Gogh committed suicide. The story behind this painting is so dark, but the after effect was so beautiful. There is this quote from a wise scholar that I heard him say, "Some of our darkest moments, if we process them, they will be the light for others to see." Even though Van Gogh may have not processed it how I would have processed it, because he did take his life, he expressed it in his art. This was one of the most darkest times for him, and he left a message in this piece for all of the beautiful souls that come in contact with it. Be diligent in your pursuit to happiness. Be about your well-being, honor your soul, and even beauty will be found in the midst of pain. And this is why I love this painting, because it is a representation for me to be about my happiness, be about my peace, be about what liberates my soul. So the next time that you stand and you look at this beautiful painting and you see it on a shirt and you see it somewhere, remember to be diligent in your pursuit of happiness. This is what I want to let somebody know. Some of our greatest victories are going to come from some of your darkest moments. And on a lighter note with that, the road to success, to the outside world, it can look easy. It can look effortless. And success is what you define it is. But think about somewhere that you're going within your heart. Okay, for all of us, it can be different. But you know what it is that you desire. You know what it is that you see as success. Do you know why a lot of people aren't successful? And I'm not just talking about in your career. I'm not just talking about in business. That's the same thing. You see where my mind is. But I'm not just talking about in your career. I'm not just talking about as far as money. I'm talking about success. Success is so much. Success is everything. It's what you define it as. What you feel like success is to you. Success is a road that's less traveled, believe it or not. A lot of people settle. A lot of people just take what they're given, even though they don't want it, even though they know they deserve more, and they just keep it. I shared the Starry Night because you are on the brink of something beautiful right here, okay, with this 10 of Cups. This card flew out the deck. We're going to pull cards together, but this card flew out the deck, and the 10 of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. This is what is being offered to you in some form of your life. Emotional fulfillment. And it's kind of like the Starry Night. That painting is so beautiful and it's so known, but there was a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of going crazy and then finding yourself again, I'm pretty sure. But it's one of his biggest masterpieces. The question that I want to ask you is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you desire it? And for all of us, that success or that happiness could be different, but I just want to name a couple of things that I wrote down. You know, how bad do you want to have your own business? How bad do you want to have a healthy, loving partner and relationship? How bad do you want to love yourself and accept yourself and know your worth wholeheartedly? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want what you define as happiness, what you define as wholeness, what you define as success? How bad do you want it? Because if you're answering, yes, I do want it, whatever that thing is, whatever that desire is on your heart, you know, are you willing to come into this energy of the starry night? Like, you know, no matter what? Are you really willing to like be in the trenches? You know, are you really willing to do that? I use an example as a healthy relationship. We say we want a healthy relationship, but are you willing to leave that one that's not healthy? Are you willing to choose you? We want to be entrepreneurs. We want to have our own businesses, but are you willing to ride that thing out on 2 flats? You know, I don't know how to drive, guys. So I don't know what really happens with a car. Yeah, like, no, I've never had a license. I don't know how to drive. Like, this is not a joke. Okay, so I don't know if I should use that analogy, but you know, like, are you willing to ride it out towards the end? Or when it gets hard, or when it gets difficult, or when you're not getting the success that you feel you should have right now and you know it's yours, are you willing to still ride it out? You know, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to give up that condo downtown to move back in with your parents or a roommate? Are you willing to be yourself? Are you willing to stand in your truth? Are you willing to be you? And because you're serious about this, because you are diligent in your pursuit to your happiness, other people might not accept that, and other people might walk away. Are you willing to be labeled weird, unique, out there, crazy? Pick a word. You know, are you willing to come out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? Are you willing to look fear straight in the eyes and go toe to toe? I need to talk to some people who genuinely are about their pursuit to happiness. You feel these visions. You know it within your heart, within your soul. Are you willing to even discover what makes you happy? You know, that's something that I had to do because I was just used to just doing what, you know, was what I was told to do, and just what I seen growing up and what everybody else was doing. Are you willing to be the oddball in your pursuit to happiness? Are you willing, like the starry night, to turn pain into triumph? These are all questions that the divine wants you to ask yourself this week whenever you're viewing this video. Because I don't know if anybody else is going to tell you, and that's going to be honest with you, but we'll use YouTube since we're here. We see certain YouTubers, or we see certain influencers, or we see certain people, with, a kind of lifestyle that you resonate with on a soul level, or doing something that you resonate with on the soul level. But do you know what goes on behind the scenes of the road to success or the road to happiness? Delayed gratification, that goes on. Discipline goes on. Looking for the strength and the courage, and even if you don't have it, making it show. There are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes of your pursuit to happiness. But it's real, and it's attainable, and it's yours, and it's here for you whenever you are ready. I got cat hair on me, guys. I'm sorry. I feel like there's cat hair everywhere. Blue! But anyways, the moment that you are ready to be diligent in your pursuit to happiness. What does diligence mean? That's a word that I've become accustomed to with my lifestyle choices. Diligent. Repetition. Use that as another word. Repetition is the mother skill. You have to be diligent on the pursuit to happiness. So, diligent, okay? The meaning of diligence is having or showing care and consistentness in one's work or duties. I always mess that word up, guys, so we not gonna do that. Consistentness. But being about it, being consistent, repetition, diligent. So the question that your soul is asking you in this moment, are you willing to be diligent in your pursuit to happiness? Are you willing to be diligent in your pursuit to happiness? You understand me? Because there are going to be things that you have to do that feel foreign to you right now because you're not used to it. This is like a seed of inspiration is being planted in you. So many seeds of inspiration are being planted. This is the time to sow them. This is the time to do something new, get out of your element. It's springtime. This is the real new year. This is when the earth wakes up. This is when the flowers bloom. This is when the caterpillars come out. I think some are still butterflies, because, oh my God. I mean, some are still caterpillars because I'm like terrified of caterpillars, even though I love butterflies. Like, somebody had a caterpillar, you can give me do some strange things, some changes. I'm not even playing. Okay. I came out my wig when a caterpillar fell on me from a tree. It was crazy. I don't be hugging them trees in this season, but get back on track here. This is when the earth really wakes up. This is when it's new. So this is the perfect time. So that's what I want to ask you guys. Your soul is asking you this week, what are you willing? What is that thing that you're not being diligent in? Is it loving yourself or just seeing something attainable for you? Maybe you've just thought that it can't happen for you, but it can happen for you. It's time to get out of your box that somebody put you in, or you put yourself in there. It's time, because this is yours right here. This emotional fulfillment, whatever this is, 10 of Cups, it's like the Holy Grail. It's complete happiness. And this is what is available right here, okay? Right here. And the other card that came out was the 9 of Wands. And the most people describe the 9 of Wands as a person who is just like done in. But I love the way that this particular tarot deck describes the 9 of Wands, because wands are spiritual. There is a major lesson that you're learning right now about trusting yourself, about trusting your creativity, about, honoring your truth, honoring your authenticity, your individuality. Those are words you're going to hear all the time, baby, because I love them words. You understand me? I love those words because they're so liberating. The antidote to any kind of manipulation, be it in a relationship, be it in a mindset, is for you to know yourself. It's authenticity. That's you, the true you. So the 9 of Wands is about a fight, but it's not in the physical. It's more so in the spiritual realm, just holding on, just trusting and believing in yourself. Okay? So, that is something that I wanted to share. I know that was a lot, but now what I want to do is I just want to see, you know, what is it that Spirit wants you to know right now in this moment in time on your pursuit to happiness. It's time. It's time to emerge. It's time to do something new. Okay. Okay, so the cards that flew out. All right. The Strength. Ooh, and this is the Magician, the Maj. Always mess this name up. But the 3 cards that came out is, we have the Observer right here, the Strength card, and I always say the I'm about to say something else, but but this card, this is the Magician card. Okay. So you're doing something new with this Observer right here. You're doing something that's kind of out of your element. It's almost like that student energy, learning something new, getting accustomed to something. And even, you know, let's just say if it's not creative, but I do feel creativity like heavy, and like projects and just like things that really you're passionate about. But for some, this could even be in love, you know, doing something new, because the Observer is open. It's open, it's watchful, it seeks knowledge. You know, with this Strength card right here, you're doing something new that requires strength and openness. It requires you to really come out of your element. So whatever you're looking at this week, no matter what it is, what Spirit wants you to, you know, to ask yourself and remind yourself is, what are you willing to do in your pursuit of happiness? What are you willing to do in your pursuit of happiness? Because sometimes, you know, we need that. We need that why. You know, instead of entertaining relationships or partnerships that, you know, don't really reverence you, that don't really reverence you. Are you willing to walk away in your pursuit of having something that does? You know, maybe you don't like your living situation. You don't like, you know, it could be anything. Something has happened, and, you know, now you have to rethink some things or move a different way. And we can let that put us in a place of just hopelessness, you know, and not wanting to move forward, not wanting to do anything, you know. And then we just bring on that pity party, honey. You know that pity party. We've all been there, you know, a time or two. No. Take whatever that darkness is, okay? It's going to be one of your greatest moments, okay? It's going to be one of your greatest come-ups. It's all about your perspective with the Observer right here. But I want to read this because I like this deck. Let's just see what it says. Hold on, guys. I'm probably going to... I flipped right to it. Yay! So it says the Observer indicates a time where you are being encouraged to suspend judgment or conclusions and simply witness. Humans are always trying to sort their external world. We want to process it, make sense of it, and figure out our place within. It's our way of trying to feel secure and comfortable within our environment. And this is the thing, the road to success does not feel comfortable. Okay? The road to a healthy relationship does not feel comfortable because it's going to require you to move a different way. The road of being your authentic self does not feel comfortable. And it's going to look very different because it's not the norm. It's the path less travel, but it is the one with the most fulfillment for you, is what Spirit wants you to know. So this is the perfect time just to take a look. Observe. I hope I said that right. Your life, your actions, your thoughts, what you choose to entertain and what you don't choose to entertain, because all of that plays a part. All of that matters. I like this. Listen, an unbalanced observer becomes too stagnant. They can see how everything functions, but do not believe that they are able to affect change, as they are only one person. This can be a form of bypassing, as they may not stand up when it's needed. So everything needs balance. Because, I was just about to say, when you sit there in those moments and you look at certain situations, and you observe it, and you take it all in, and you hold no judgment for it, then there comes a time, where you have to step into your strength. And I was going to say your truth, but because too much observing and then not enough action can go left, and too much action and not enough observing can go left also. So there needs to be a balance, So this week is definitely a week that you want to make sure that you're meditating, especially when you are making important, sound decisions when it comes to your happiness, because that is coming up this week, about how you're going to move next. What is going to be your next move? What's going to be your next step? How are you going to allow yourself to be you? Because there is a newness. Everyone got some energetic upgrades, some different mindsets. You could have got them in a nice way, or you could have got them in a not so nice way, But there was something that was made. You were made aware of, You were made aware of something that you desire, something that you want. Something that is obtainable. The only question that Spirit wants you to ask yourself, are you willing to be diligent in your pursuit to happiness? Okay. I'm trying to prolong the message, but literally, guys, that's what I just got. This is a week of observing what it is that you want for your life. Or your definition of happiness. What makes you happy? Because what makes Tori happy and you happy and somebody else happy is going to look completely different. So let's just see, Spirit, what else would you like them to know? Oh, I love this. Victory. Victory is yours. I really feel like for some of you that you're contemplating some kind of move this week about what it is that you want to create. And it's not limitless. It could be in your, with your career, it could be in creativity, it could be in relationships, it could be within yourself. You're going, sometimes we can allow fear to talk us out of the very thing that we love. We can, sometimes. So I pose for you to sit with yourself this week. You have the victory. How are you going to allow yourself to be diligent in your pursuit of happiness? How are you going to show up for you? How are you going to show up for your happiness? How are you going to show up for your success? That's something that's coming up, and you have it. And you know what's crazy is that, this is a 6 of Wands, but before that 6 of Wands, is a 5 of Wands. And that's the showdown. It's like that. It's the fight. It's the fight of the death. You know, like these 5 individuals are going at it, and the last man standing wins. So this is the energy that you have to come into when it comes to your pursuit of happiness. And sometimes, you know, we think that's selfish, but it's not. Sometimes we can take that out of content, you know, but let's just use an example. If you're in a relationship that is sucking the life out of you, that is breadcrumbing you, you know, that you don't know this person going, coming, leaving, up, down, like, for you to choose your happiness and your peace, that's not selfish. And even if it was, that's what you need to do for you to be sound, for you to be good. It's time for you to get out of your head. It's time for you to do what it is that you desire to do when it comes to your career. You know, and I'm just feeling it, and it's not everybody, but I feel it. Like I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs. I deal with a lot of people that are free thinkers. A lot of people that, you know, they might moonlight or, you know, blue moon. No, they might moonlight. And that means you work your 9 to 5 and then you work on your dreams from 5 to 10. But whatever you're willing to go to bat for, Spirit is saying, whatever you're willing to go to bat for, you will obtain it. But are you willing to be diligent in your pursuit to happiness? Are you willing to be diligent in your pursuit to success? Whatever that thing is, if it is an amazing platform that goes viral, you know, whatever you're going to be known, whatever it is to you, known in your money and whatever, it is yours. The universe is like promising it to you. The only thing that you're being asked to do is be diligent in the pursuit. So if it's a career, you know, if it's a creative project, show up. You know, if you desire a healthy relationship, you know, love yourself. Invest in that relationship with you. Move away from, constantly choose you. Okay, so that's all that I'm getting. I'm not going to sit here and try to drag it out, guys, because I think I did drag it out a lot. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. And, you know, the Magician, you can manifest whatever it is that you want. Stop playing with you. I was speaking, I had a session, not a session, I had a tea time, because those are different than my sessions. I had a tea time with a beautiful love muffin. And, you know, in my tea times, we can just talk about anything. You know, it's usually just me and my intuition, and we're just flowing and we're just talking. And, you know, she is so creative and she's so different, and she just really embraces her uniqueness. Like, she inspired me. Like, I think I'm gonna bleach my eyebrows blonde. No, seriously, I think I might. But anyways, I'm gonna do like a honey blonde. But anyways, this beautiful soul is just so unique and just so vibrant. And, you know, her imagination is so wild and big. And I totally told her, you know, I can agree, because she was like, sometimes I can see it and I can just see beyond. But it's just, sometimes when you can just see beyond, you get, I don't know what the correct terminology is, but it's just so big. Eventually you start to like talk it down, and you don't feel like it is obtainable for you. You get what I'm saying? And no, it is obtainable for you. No matter how wild you feel those visions that you feel and you see in your heart are crazy or unrealistic. Who said that they're not realistic? Who said that? No, they are realistic. And what's going to make them a reality is you being diligent in your pursuit to happiness. That's how you're going to ground it in the physical. But it starts, everything starts spiritual. Everything starts as a thought, okay? everything. This desk, okay, these cards, they didn't exist. They were in the mind. Everything. So if you feel like you're crazy, you're not crazy. And Tori is telling you that. You have a beautiful, vivid imagination. And honestly, if you really work with the law of attraction, people would, if they would pay buku money to get that imagination, because everyone knows, you know, you gotta visualize it, you gotta feel it, you gotta see it. Okay? Now, what Spirit is saying, with seeing that, you have no issue with that. Now it's about grounding that in the physical. And it's the little steps that you take in the day to day. It is your mind process, you know, about how you feel, choosing positive thoughts. Even when those negative ones come, I don't say run away from them, you know, process them and replace them. Because sometimes you got to feel. You gotta, you know, energy, everything is energy. You know, you gotta move that energy sometimes. That's why I say never be in denial. You know, I'm an advocate for beating my pillow's ass, you know, when I'm mad or I'm sad, I'll do it. But, you know, you have to allow that energy to move. You can exercise, you can dance. So many things to do, okay? But yes, so that's it. That is what Spirit has placed on my heart to share with the beautiful soul who is watching this video. I love you guys so freaking much. Go have an awesome week. Get out in nature, sunbathe, okay? Hug a tree for me and you. I love you guys, and I will catch you on my channel.